Hey Chris, what is the value of our API token authentication app?
Okay, there's multiple different scenarios where API token authentication provides benefits. One of the first ones is in single sign-on environments, so where you use protocols like SAML or OAuth to do your single sign-on. And very often in those scenarios, the users don't have any local passwords anymore, so they can't use basic auth on the API anymore. And basic auth is basically username password, and that's a very common mechanism that third-party integrations like Zapier, Microsoft Flow, or very often your own scripts that you write use to use the Jira or Confluence API. So single sign-on environments, very often users can't use that at all, and people need to build workarounds like local user accounts, service accounts, etc. There's also a lot more security features that you get when using API tokens, and they apply both to the single sign-on environments but also use cases outside of that. First of all, API tokens are generally considered more secure than just using your password, because API tokens in our case are 39 characters, very long, very complex. They can have a limited lifetime, and you can also create multiple. So for every script you write, for every integration of Zapier, Microsoft Flow that you create, you can have you can use a different token, and you can also easily revoke that if that token gets lost, or you can have it expire. If you know you only need it for 6 months, then it automatically expires, and that's generally more secure than using the same password everywhere, and especially if that is more of a company-wide password that gives you access to other systems as well. So that limits the amount of damage a lost token can actually do, and they're very easy to revoke. But there's also a lot more admin control that you can do on the API. Generally in the Atlassian applications, it's you don't have much control over the API usage. Yeah, you can turn it off on a reverse proxy, but that's usually as much control that you have. And with our plugin, you can, for example, disable the username password basic auth completely. You can also define groups that can create, manage tokens, that can use tokens, etc. So you can limit the API usage much more than you would natively in the Atlassian application. That makes it also interesting for a lot of our enterprise customers, even if they don't use SSO, to give them a better control and limit the potential damage all those third-party integrations can do to their Atlassian applications.